Hello. How is everyone? Hi. Hi, Claire. Hi, Amy. Good morning to you, tailor-made. Hello, Joy. I have literally 30 minutes, unexpectedly 30 minutes. I had a reschedule. So my next call's at 12:30. So I'm like, why don't I just go live on TikTok and chit-chat for a little bit? Oh, thank you very much, Claire. I appreciate that. Let me see if I can make this bigger. There we go. Okay. Oh boy, Poop's excited. Poop's excited. If you're new to my channel, Poop is my dog. Can you hear her beeping? She went and got a toy for this grand occasion. Do you hear her? Are you showing off for all of them? Are you saying hi to your friends? She's wagging her tail. You got SP exactly how I wanted with my exact relationship. Yes, Claire! Friggin' well done! Thank you, Josie. Are you my friend, Josie, that I just chit-chatted with yesterday? Is that the Josie? Thank you for the gifts. Limitless Queen Batch is here. And she shared my live. God, you know I love you. Can we all talk about Limitless Queen Batch for like 2 seconds here? She spoils the living shit out of me. Literally spoils me. Sends me stuff. Gets my content out there. She shares content. She shares content with me. She's also a moderator on my YouTube. Did I make you a moderator over here? And if I didn't, let me. How do I do it? Add moderator. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Good Lord, Kim needs new glasses. I think I did it, Limitless Queen. Let me see. Okay. Hi to everybody else that joined. AKSE, you joined the membership. Yay! So, which membership did you join? The hot seat group? Because then you have access to the exclusive lives group too. If you join the hot seat, if you join the advanced manifestors, you get access to all the groups and all the recordings. On top of random private live streams outside of the membership too. Just say. Good morning from Germany. Well, hello from New York. That's the whole state. I should say good morning from Central New York. I will move to SP City. I'm scared he'll date someone else until then. Advice? Yeah, you need to recognize that is just a basic bitch, regular, fearful thought that is nothing but, now we have different ways we can word this, that is nothing but a thought vehicle to that reality. And I know you're not making that choice, right? You're not choosing a reality where he's going to shack up with anybody else. Right? You're not choosing that. Who are you intending to be? Meaning, what decision do you make over who you are? What reality you're choosing? The version of you that's in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with him, right? So it's just a thought. Thoughts can be there. We do not have to be afraid of our thoughts. Yes, certain thoughts don't make us feel good. I know there's certain thoughts that don't make me feel good. But that's our body responding out of habit from our old self. We do not have to worry about it. We just don't choose it. Some people like to affirm when thoughts come in. That is fine, so long as it's not coming from stressful, fearful energy. It is not individual thoughts that manifest. It is your state of consciousness. Another way to word that is, it is who you are aware of being. And you are in complete and utter control to decide which version of yourself you are. This community tends to make us afraid of our own subconscious mind, and we don't have to be afraid of it. Your conscious mind is choosing who you want to be. How you perceive reality is telling you what state you're in or what version of self you're in. But we're in control of the choice. Might not always feel like control. Oh, girl, thank you. She knows I love the different hats and stuff. We don't have to be afraid. Don't be afraid of your subconscious mind. Don't be afraid of every single thought. You're in control. You just have to be aware of being in control. Your awareness is the key to all. And, pardon me. Just taking off of my blanket. Okay? I love you, Limitless Queen. That's my girl. She's my girl. I've been assigning good meaning to everything, and it makes me feel a lot better. Good. You're utilizing more of your control and power. Well done. Because you really are in charge of the meanings you give things. So therefore, you are, again, dictating what reality you are choosing. Manifesting is not difficult. Because when you really, really think about it, we're not necessarily, well, definitely, I'm sure if you watch my content, you already know I don't like using the word creating. A lot of my old content says creating. Thank you, Helen, beautiful bestie. Because we are not creating anything. And in the scheme of things, this is why I've talked about on YouTube why I'm considering changing my channel name. Because we're not really manifesting anything either. We are honestly just becoming aware. We are becoming aware of what we want to experience in reality. That's it. That's what we're doing. Because everything you want, every single thing that you believe you're manifesting, okay? So we'll use specific person. If you're manifesting a relationship with a specific person, maybe you're manifesting money. All right? We'll use these two examples. I think that some of us get stuck in that thought process that I am manifesting that SP in that relationship. I'm manifesting that money, but I don't have it yet. I'm not that version of me yet. I love you, bitch. And we want to drop that thinking. See, because in that moment, when you're telling yourself, and this is what I see people caught up on all the time, that, yeah, I'm manifesting that I'm that version of myself that's in the relationship or has all the money. Thank you, bestie. I'm manifesting that. But in my real, actual reality, I'm not that person yet. Because I don't have, the manifestation in my 3D in front of me. I don't see it in my 3D. So I'm not in that reality, yes. Yeah. Yes, you are. I love you, bitch. Yes, you are. But you have to decide that for yourself. Thank you. Thank you, Sandra. You guys spoil the shit out of me. Thank you very much. So does that make sense? You are becoming aware of being that self that has the money, that has the relationship with that person. So you're claiming it for yourself. In other words, if your attention and focus, okay, we'll look at it like this, is a flashlight. And we'll say that consciousness, the absolute, the universe, God, whatever you personally believe in, think of that as being out there in like the ether. I just like that word. Out in the ether. It's out there, right? Everything you've ever wanted, already created and is out there in the potential or in the absolute. I know it sounds cuckoo. I know it does. You, as this consciousness, right? Because that's what you really are. Each and every single one of us is pure, unadulterated consciousness. Everything we believe about ourselves comes from conditioning that most of us didn't choose for ourselves, right? Especially if we've had bad things happen to us in our life. We do not blame ourselves for those things. We know it came from conditioning that was never our fault. But now we are aware that we can change that. So we being, thank you, Batch. I got to start calling you beautiful Batch and then beautiful bestie. So I got my two girls. Thank you. The norther. That's all I see is the norther. Thank you. So if you're the flashlight, if your attention and focus is the flashlight, right now, in this moment, if you believe you don't have what you want, okay, your flashlight is highlighting or shining on, in awareness, what you don't want. That's what you've been lighting up, okay? To get what you want in your 3D reality is like taking your consciousness flashlight and moving it and shining it on what you do want. And your job as a manifester is to keep moving that flashlight over. So when 3D is showing you what you don't want, so let's say maybe SP is showing up and not saying that he or she is choosing you. Maybe the bank account is negative and you don't have your $1 million yet. There's nothing wrong, although I know that's not what we want to see in reality. I get that. There's nothing wrong. Don't get tricked by the 3D. It's your job still to keep moving that flashlight, your awareness, back onto what you want. So if we see 3D reality, SP says they don't want you. Okay, that doesn't make sense to me. I don't have to pretend to like it. I don't have to pretend to be okay with it. But if I know that I'm continuously putting my focus, attention, awareness on being the version of myself that has that relationship the way I want it, then I know somehow, some way, whatever's happening in 3D reality is leading right to it. Because every time you put your focus back on what you want, that is an instant shift. Might not feel like it was instant. Reality might not look any different, but it was an instant shift. And it is, no matter what the circumstances are, they are leading you to your outcome. But you have so much control and power as that unadulterated, unconditioned consciousness that it's up to you to keep remembering where you're shining your light. It's very easy to get sucked back into 3D circumstances because that's what we are conditioned to do. So that's why when you learn about conscious manifestation, we're breaking habits. That's really what we're doing. It's like the law of habits. We're breaking the habits of handling, believing, looking at 3D reality like we used to. We're all conditioned to look at 3D reality and say, this just, the life I've been given, this is just how things happen. I'm not going to get everything I want, right? Think about it. We've all been conditioned with the world doesn't revolve around you. You can't always get what you want. Some things are just not meant to be. Bullshit. That's conditioning. Bring the flashlight back onto what you want and you will have it. So even SP showing up saying, I don't want you, bitch, it's still leading you to your outcome if you're putting your focus on that in your awareness, and it will work flawlessly. And you don't have to concern yourself with fixing the past or fixing who you used to believe you are. You don't have to fix it. You got to move your light. You got to move that flashlight and start claiming who you are now. And it will change. I'm telling you, it will change. Flawlessly. Flawlessly. Batch, you are spoiling me. Thank you so much. And you always do when I go live. I love you. Can you make an updated video on revision? Yes, I can, Lovey. And it just so happens that either last week or the week before, I recorded one. So it will be going up on my YouTube soon. And pieces of it I will put over here. What if SP got engaged? I've given up hope. I must be meant to meet someone else. Feel like wasted time. No, 444. No. That is the exact opposite of what I just said. Now, granted, you can make that choice for yourself. If you feel like that's like too big of a circumstance for you to handle or fight with, per se, that's your decision. I'm never going to push anyone to manifest what they don't feel like manifesting anymore. I get it. You want to change your mind? Change your mind. But if that's not your heart's desire and you still want that particular person, getting engaged, getting married, any other kind of obstacle really can't stop you from getting what you want. I see it every day. I see really shitty circumstances turn into exactly the manifestation. So it's a conscious decision on your end. If I really wanted a specific person, hence why I have my specific person, I'm not giving up. I want what I want, and that's going to be it. I'm going to have what I want. And I'm not going to stop making my decision. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to allow myself to be happy knowing that everything's leading me to what I want. But I wouldn't give up if I didn't want to. You don't have to. You don't have to. You didn't waste time. That's the state you're in talking. See what I mean? Yes, Brittany Daisy, it will change. Went from no contact to being engaged. Boom. Exactly. Can I manifest an SP or simply a boyfriend for my mom if she wants one? Absolutely yes. See, everyone in your reality, all the people that you're intermingling with, including your family and friends, they're showing up as a version of themselves based off of you and what you believe about them, right? Along with any other beliefs you have about the people in your life. So if you were trying to manifest that your mom finds the love of her life, then you start identifying as the version of you who is seeing her mother in a new wonderful relationship with someone that treats her like a queen. You start identifying as that version of yourself. Do you see how what you believe about anybody else in your life is attached to what you believe about yourself? Which is why when we say, when you're manifesting a specific person, especially right now, that your mom would be a specific person. Not in a relationship love kind, but as in relationship to you as mom and daughter. But she's still an SP. So you start identifying as her being, living her best life, having the best relationship ever. But it all rolls back to you. So like I was saying, that when you manifest a specific person, that's why, especially if you've already had some kind of an intermingling with them, what you believe about yourself and what you believe about them matters, right? So we're going to stop identifying as believing your mom is single and doesn't have love to she's in the most amazing relationship ever, or whatever words feel good to you. It's all about what you believe, right? Your reality experience really is like you being in your own little bubble. And these bubbles, like we bounce up against each other as we're intermingling. But you're in charge of your experience. So start identifying as she has an amazing relationship with her person. It'll work. Hi, beautiful. Well, hello, Penny bitch. Any tips on third party and long distance? For me, it gets harder. Okay, so right from there, we're gonna not say that anymore. We're not gonna decide it's harder. Logically and literally, I understand why you might be, perceive it as being harder, but it's not. It's literally no different. You got to remember, because of who we really are is pure, unadulterated consciousness, you really don't have any limits, especially with space and time. Space as in where you're located versus SP. That has no bearing on your manifestation unless you have a belief that it does. So my suggestion to you is you are now choosing to be the version of yourself that is not only in the relationship with your person, and that person is completely committed to you, right? Completely loyal and faithful to you. Thank you very much. And you are the version of self that easily accepts and believes that you are not bound by space and time, even if you don't believe that right now in this moment. Okay? It's quite normal to not believe affirmations or what you're, doing with your manifestation game, whatever technique you enjoy. It's normal to not believe, and it's normal to doubt. You just keep going with it, though. You keep going it. The repetition is our friend. Do we always need the repetition? No. And think about it this way, that the repetition, it's there to help you believe that you are that new self. So I didn't mean that as in repetition is a bad thing. No, of course it's not. I just meant not every manifestation will require the repetition, which is why I'm sure everyone's had the experience of how it was so easy to manifest something else, something unrelated to your big manifestation. And I'm only calling it big because we have a tendency to think the things we really, really want are our big manifestations. They're really no different. But again, that's because, whatever you believed about that thing that seemed to manifest so easily, it's who you believed you were. See what I mean? But as far as if there is a third party, well, then we're going to start removing our focus, our awareness off of third party. And I know that's not instantly easy. And again, this is why I say you don't have to be afraid of your thoughts. Thoughts can be there. But you are in control and in charge of what you do with your thoughts. So if third party comes into your mind, or the fear of long distance relationship, nope, that belongs to your old self. That's not who you are anymore. You're choosing to be the you that's in the most loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with your person. And, you believe, you're accepting that you're not bound by space and time. So I'm assuming you would like to either go to where SP is or bring SP to you. You start identifying as either like living with your SP, whatever words feel good to you, you start putting your focus there. You start claiming to be that version of yourself. Like I said, with that repetition. But the idea is to get your awareness off of third party. Off of third party. Because remember what I was saying, like with the flashlight. If we keep shining our flashlight on SP has a third party, what are we doing? We're keeping that in our 3D experience. So if a thought comes in about third party, nope, not my reality. It's not a concern of mine. It's nothing I have to worry about because I know who I'm choosing to be. So that thought can float right on by and we don't have to worry about it. Right? As you are choosing to be that new self, I am making the assumption that you already know why that third party manifested. Right? If we've had beliefs that are shit, like not good enough, not chosen, fear of abandonment, we are consciously aware that this new version of yourself no longer has those beliefs. Right? That's what we're choosing. The version of you that can accept, believe, trust that you're always chosen and you are more than enough for whatever it is you desire. And try to remember when you're having moments of doubt, outside of the fact that doubts are normal, try to remember you wouldn't have the desire for that thing or that person if you didn't already have it. Most people think too logically. And they think, well, it's not sitting next to me on the couch. He's not here, so I don't have it. Yes, you do, or you wouldn't be able to even think of it. Remember, creation is finished. Everything that could ever possibly exist already exists in potential. You're just shining your light on it. So it gets into your experience, or look at it as you going to that timeline where you two are together. Hope that makes sense. Any tips for open communication? Wait. What? My SP closes himself off and there's a third party. Okay, Jules, right from the top. We're going to stop describing him that way. I believe you that you've had that experience. I believe that you've had the experience where he seems to close himself off. I believe you. We got to stop that story, though. We have to stop identifying that that's how he is. And we definitely are going to identify as there is no one else, right? He's with you and only you. That's your new self. That's your new identity. That's the state you're choosing. Again, not being afraid of the thoughts that come in. You don't control what thoughts pop in your mind. You control what you do with them. So don't worry if third-party thoughts are coming in, but it's what we do with them that matters. So nope, that's not me, not my reality. And no, SP is always open, totally open, loving communication with SP always, because that's who you are. That's your new identity. The version of you who has a wonderful relationship with SP. Obviously, use the words that feel good to you. These are just examples. Okay, so we no longer are going to give in to that old story of SP that he closes himself off. So that also includes that we're not going to talk about that with anybody else either. We're all done calling him that or saying that he closes himself off or he shuts down. Nope. We're not going to. Zuzia, thank you so much. My gosh. So that means we're not going to talk about it with our friends. We're not going to bitch to our friends. And this goes for everybody. Like the days of venting shitty things about the person we're manifesting, they got to go because you're just bringing your attention, focus, and awareness back to it. And we're trying to get rid of that shit, right? We're hopping to the timeline where he was never that way. Okay? Remember that. We're leaving that shit behind. So he is always open. He communicates amazingly. That's all you know is that version of him, right? Does that make sense? I know we all, especially like once we get into the manifesting buddies, having our manifestation buddies, we got to be careful not to consistently talk about the things we're trying to get away from. That's only anchoring ourselves to a reality we don't want to be in, right? So you're going to start identifying as the version of you who, SP is always open, loving, affectionate, and is completely loyal and faithful to you and only you, right? And if 3D is showing you something opposite of that, we're going to consciously decide to detach and label it as part of the unfolding. The unfolding is always perfect anyway. No one ever said it will always make sense. No one ever said we're always going to love every single part of our bridge of incidents. But I know who I'm choosing to be, so that must be a part of the unfolding. Nothing to be worried about. Not going to let the 3D tell you who you are. You are telling it. Okay? Well, hello, Angelica. What do you mean when you say detach? I feel like I have more resistance when I detach. Detach does not mean, so let's make this very clear, okay? You're welcome, Jules. Detachment never, ever means that you cannot think about what you're manifesting. And I know that that is sometimes incorrectly taught in this community. We do not let go of our manifestations. We do not stop thinking about our manifestations. So first, let's make that very clear. Detachment only means whatever presents itself in 3D, if it doesn't feel like or look like it's exactly what we want, we do not let it tell us that we are not our new self. So for example, if you're manifesting your specific person to be with you and only you, right? Because we were aware that SP had a third party. Notice I'm talking like past tense. Okay? You were aware that there was a third party. Not anymore. That's not your choice anymore. You're choosing the you that is in the most loving, fulfilling, committed, loyal, and faithful relationship with that loving, loyal version of your SP. If reality is showing you something different, so let's say SP is in your face, still has a third party. That's fine, as in nothing to panic over. That doesn't mean this isn't working, and it doesn't mean you are not your new self right now in this moment. It doesn't mean that. It means it's unfolding. It means it's perfectly unfolding. In other words, you could look at it as it means the old reality is collapsing and the new reality is coming in. So you might see glimpses of shit you don't like. You decide that it's the old reality collapsing. You make that decision, then that's exactly what it will be. So don't panic if we see things in 3D we don't love. Don't panic over it. It doesn't mean something's wrong, and it doesn't mean that you're not going to get your outcome. That's where, and I'm sure you've all seen them, that's where people fuck this up. This is why you see people in comments claiming that they were doing all the techniques, they were doing everything right, and it didn't work. It's because they stayed anchored to the wrong reality. And by wrong, I just mean, it's not technically it wasn't wrong. It was a direct reflection of who that person was being. But that's why I mentioned earlier in the live stream that I think some people get all caught up with, well, this is my real reality. So we'll use that SP example again. I'm really in the reality where SP still has a third party, but I'm manifesting that the third party goes away. So I'm not in that reality just yet, because reality looks like he still has third party. No. Relying on the 3D to tell you who you are is ass backwards. That is regular old muggle living 3D life. We're breaking out of that habit. So think of it like you're getting ahead of the 3D. You're deciding what the 3D is, and then the 3D takes the orders. So it might look like nothing's changed, but that doesn't mean that you are not your new self. So it's your job to keep claiming to yourself, I'm in the right reality. I'm in the reality where I get the loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with my person, and my person is the version of themselves that is completely loyal and faithful to me. 3D reality might not make sense to me in this moment. I might not understand why I'm seeing something so stupid like a 3P, but I know it's leading to my outcome. I know I'm in the right place because I keep choosing it. So who gives a rat's ass what 3D is showing us in this moment? Who cares? It's still unfolding to what you want. I am not telling you that you can never have an emotional reaction to your 3D. I react to the 3D. I have tears. I get angry. But I still choose new self. I still fall back on who I want to be. But it doesn't mean I never have an emotional moment. So don't worry if seeing in reality that SP is with 3P and it upsets you and you cry. That's fine. Let it out. Let those tears out. But when the tears are done, you remind yourself of who you are. You are your new self. If you're new to my channel, new self only means the version of you who has your manifestation. That's all it means. It's just, I like that wording, so I use it. New self. I'm new self. I'm the self that has exactly what I want in every single category of my life. That's who I am. We don't wait for reality to give us permission to say that we're new self. That's not manifesting. And that's where people get this wrong. Okay? So I'm hoping that makes sense. Also, I do have to go. Oh my God, I'm a minute late. Let me just say, I also understand too, guys, sometimes I hear questions like, well, how am I supposed to react in 3D? How am I supposed to, interact with SP? Any fucking way you want. You are not limited in how you show up in reality. What you are required to do is internally, in here in your mind, you are focused on being new self. If you do something in 3D, like let's say you cried because something with SP, so what? You cried. So what? Fine. You can't mess it up. The fear of messing it up is why you might experience evidence that you've messed something up, but you didn't. That was just a fear, a belief, a reflection of that. You're in charge. This is why I say you can give yourself permission that it's fucking okay. If you have a bad day, it's okay. I have them. I still have what I want. I still have the exact relationship that I specifically was manifesting with the specific version of my person. I still have it. I still have moments. I still have days where I'm fucking irritated with the 3D. But I return to my decision at the end of the day. That's the only difference. So you return to it anyway. I gotta go. I'm late for my call. I love you all. I will be back soon. I just saw earlier today that I'm like, my God, I haven't been live in forever over on TikTok. It is on my mind to make sure I'm coming back at minimum at least once a week. Okay? All right, so I love you all. Thank you, Josie. I love you all. I'll see you all, and hopefully this saves if I do it correctly. Let's make sure I don't mess this up. Okay.